Hey guys, it's Rob. Welcome back. If you've never been to this channel before, my name is Robert Simmons. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a wonderful 22-year career. 15 years of that were in the Highway Patrol motorcycle unit. The purpose of this channel is primarily slow speed motorcycle operation, okay? And the main point is to get your confidence level up so that you can be the boss of your motorcycle. All right, you need to be the boss of your motorcycle. You shouldn't be intimidated by your motorcycle. All right, you should be able to put that motorcycle where it needs to be put. Okay, today we're in Georgia, South Georgia, 68 degrees. The sun's on my face. Oh, it feels beautiful out here. Listen, guys, as always, I know that there's anything you could be doing with your time, but the fact that you chose to spend some of it with me, I appreciate that. All right, and if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to be notified of future videos, hit that notification bell. All right, I got a lot of people I know that are subscribed, but they didn't hit that notification bell, and then they don't know a new video came out. So I want you guys to be in the know all the time, okay? All right, so what we have going on here today, if you guys remember, the last lesson plan that I did was simulating that there's a red light in front of you, and I wanted you to slow down. Don't just go to the light. I wanted you to slow down and practice your slow motorcycle riding techniques. Throttle, clutch, rear brake. I wanted you to feel the motorcycle. If you felt like you were getting ready to have to put your foot down, that's when you let the clutch out a little bit. And that's gonna pick you back up to get you back stable. Then you go back into the friction zone. Well, you're always in the friction zone, but you come out of it a little bit when you need that power, all right? You're gonna preload. You're always gonna hear me say preload. Preload means preload the throttle so that power is in the reserve. That's what I call it. It's in the reserve, so if you need it, you don't have to worry about throttle. All you have to do is open up your clutch hand and give yourself the power that you need. So that's what I wanted you to do, right? Nice and easy. I wanted you to feel like the motorcycle was gonna, and then let the clutch out, okay? So that's gonna be incorporated. That's the bread and butter. That's why I had you do that first. That's gonna be incorporated into this exercise as well. This exercise is going to be a left turn with a stop sign. So you're doing the same thing that we did in the first exercise. You're coming up nice and slow. You're in the friction zone. This is the stop sign right here. I want you to put the front wheel right at this cone. Now, what we're going to do is, remember I told you guys, as soon as the motorcycle starts to move, your foot comes off the floor. Which foot comes off the floor? The left foot. Why not the right foot? Because the right foot's covering the brake. The right foot is always covering the brake. 15 miles per hour or less. Forget about the front brake, you're never using it. The front brake will put you right down if you squeeze it hard. If you step on the rear brake hard, you're gonna be fine, all right? So again, ride up slowly. Same as exercise number 1. I wanna hear the motorcycle because that means it's preloaded. I wanna hear it. Don't let your motorcycle idle. That's too low. Because remember, the idle is fickle. So even if it's idling at 1,000, it can drop to 900. It can drop to 800 for whatever reason. So you always want to be 1,500 to 2,000 or even higher, all right? Because it doesn't matter how high you go. You're controlling the power with the clutch, okay? All right. So once you get up to this spot, you're going to stop. Act like it's a stop sign. You're not making a right turn. That's coned off. You're going to make a left turn. So it's the same thing. Preload. You preload before every movement. So preload, then you're covering the rear brake. Preload. Let the clutch out a little bit. As soon as you feel the motorcycle starting to move, pick your foot up, and now we're making a turn. This is not one of those turns where I'm going to tell you to lean. Now you could lean here, but that's not what we're doing here. We have to crawl before we can walk. Turn the handlebars. Obviously, you're going to look where you're going. And the same thing you were doing going straight, the only difference is you're doing it with the handlebars turned. Now, if you want to start all the way over here and stop and then do it, that's fine. If you want to, but as you get better at this, eventually you'll be able to get right here and be able to still make this turn. All right? All right, I'm going to demonstrate that. I know you see me looking at you. All right, my front wheel is at the cone. I'm in the middle of the lane. That's where I'm gonna start this first. So I have enough room, especially straight up. I have enough room, especially if I turn the handlebars all the way, I can actually go up a little bit while I'm turning. But sometimes you don't have a lot of room and you have to actually start like this, all right? But let's do it this way first. Now I'm going to make this turn from the extreme right side of the lane. Okay, now I'm on the extreme left side. A little more difficult. Let's give it a shot. All right, now I'm going to make this same turn, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go to the extreme right and make this turn. I want you to watch and see, but I also want you to do this because watching and seeing is totally different than doing it. I want you to see how much easier it is when the motorcycle doesn't stop. Because remember, the faster the motorcycle is going, the less input it needs from you. We want you to be the boss. So the boss can contribute 100%, and you need 100% when the motorcycle is going 15 miles per hour or less. Because without you, it can't go, it's gonna fall. All right, you see how much easier that is? Again, this is why we're practicing. And you have to practice, practice, practice. Now, what if the motorcycle is this close to the cones in front of you? Let's act like that's a wall. How am I gonna make that turn? This is one of those instances where you have to actually turn the handlebars all the way, and you have to let the motorcycle fall and catch it with the clutch, throttle, and rear brake. You have to trust that you're not gonna drop the motorcycle. This is where all of that trust comes in a move like this. So of course, if you're letting the motorcycle fall, you don't have time to now think about providing power to the rear wheel. That's why you preload. That power has to be there already. Because if you go, oh crap, and then jerk the throttle, that's when stuff happens, all right? So that's what I'm gonna do now. Turn the handlebars, right foot's covering the rear brake, of course. Left foot's on the ground. I'm gonna preload, and as soon as I pick up my foot, just let the motorcycle dip, and then pick it up with the throttle and the clutch and the rear brake. Let's do it. Right foot on the brake, handlebars turn, preload. All right, I got Eric here with me from Harley-Davidson of Savannah, and he's gonna run this. He's gonna run this exercise right now. First, he's gonna come down the middle, stop, and after he stopped, he's gonna make this turn. Next time he comes down, he's gonna come to the extreme right. Same thing, stop, make the turn, and then he's gonna come down on the left side of the lane, stop here, complete stop, foot on the ground, and then make a turn from a stop. And then lastly, he's gonna come through here without stopping. Just so he can also see, he already knows, but we're doing this for, you know, I almost said entertainment purposes, but we're doing this as an example, all right? Because I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to feel the difference in it all. And if he wants to do the standstill thing, where the motorcycle's up here, where you have to dip the motorcycle and let it fall, we can do that too. All right, brother. Preload? Preload before you move. Before you make any move, preload. Get that other foot up. That's good. That's going to be the easiest one. Now he's going on the inside. Rear brake there. That's what I mean. You're preloading. If you're going too fast, use that rear brake. Go straight through. Down goes Frazier. Now you see how you just picked up this motorcycle? Don't try that at home. Put your back against it and push it up. It's a big guy though. What happened there? What do you think happened?
I didn't have enough throttle in.
Exactly. That's it. That's always the case. The only time you're ever gonna lay down that motorcycle is if you don't have enough power going to the rear wheel. That's all that is. And this thing that he's trying to do, it's terrifying at first because you're really letting the motorcycle purposely fall, and you got to just trust that you're going to catch it, but you got to give it enough power. So I don't think I remember. I have to look back at it, but I don't know if he preloaded. And if he did preload, he let it out right before the turn. So keep that preload. Let's try it again. There we go. Preload, baby. That's really what this is all about. What I'm also trying to get you to get out of the habit of is right before you go to take off, right before the last class we did that as part of the class 2 near the end, where I would have people ride their motorcycle, stop, left foot down, and then as soon as they go to ride, as soon as they go to move, pick the foot right up. You have to know that as soon as that back wheel gets power, you're good. Pick your foot up. That's what's happening here. All right, so I know it feels like, uh-oh, I want to wait until I'm stable and then I'll pick my feet up. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. All you need is the rear wheel to have power. The motorcycle weighs almost 900 pounds. Get your feet up, okay? So guys, I want you to practice this, all right? You don't have to use cones. You can just use, if you notice, I did it in the confines of 2 parking spots as far as going this way. I did this in the confines of 2 parking spots. So you could just use parking spots if you want. As far as making the turn, I don't know what you're going to use for that, but I would like you to use something to give you a reference. But please practice this, practice this, practice this. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for joining me again. If you guys want to know when the next practice sessions are going to be, just look at the email address. As I always say to you guys, I appreciate you. I need you to practice. I need you to show this motorcycle who the boss is. If you don't want to be the boss, that's fine. But if you do, you have to practice, okay? All right, all my brothers and sisters in blue, you guys be careful out there. Don't get complacent. All of my two-wheelers out there, you guys, same thing. Complacency kills, so please, be careful out there. I want you to practice when you're on the streets too, but it's a different environment, so you have to practice differently. Every time you ride, you're practicing, okay? That's your mindset, it has to be that. All right, guys, spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. All right, I want to thank Eric. Eric, thank you.
Thank you.
Again, Eric from Harley-Davidson in Savannah. You guys looking for a motorcycle? Ask for Eric. You know, the fact that Eric came out here to practice with me, I appreciate that big time, all right? Because we all need practice. Remember what I told you guys. This is not just for people that don't know anything about this. This is for people that are proficient in it too. But it's a finite skill. You have to practice it. You have to, all right? Until next time, guys, wear those masks.
This is Augie Rodriguez. Augie rides a 2018 Street Glide, and he is a brother in blue. He's a Baltimore City police officer, originally from New York. He's been on the job for 20 years, and he's out there practicing. Good job, Augie.